Alright, hello there folks, this is UPRC, and I am sitting here with Torchlight 2. I was going to play an amateur or indie game, but I decided, let's play Torchlight 2. Just for something that I know I'm definitely going to have fun with. I've already played quite a bit of this game. I'm up to Act 3 on my engineer, he's level 41, I think. But I noticed I'm playing on normal just to I'm not new to these games. I'm just playing on normal because it says normal, so I'm like, okay. But it's pretty easy. So yeah, if you've played action RPGs before, don't start on normal. Don't. So I'm gonna start a new character here. I'm primarily doing this just for people who haven't played Torchlight 2 yet. I've played Diablo 2, the expansions for both. I played Diablo 3, I played the first Torchlight. I played the Sacred games, didn't like them at all. So I have experience here. I've been playing these games for quite a while. So basically I'm just saying I'm not some fool who doesn't know what he's doing with one of these games. Anyway, so let's check out the classes. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you know what the classes are. So my main guy is an engineer, but I think I'm gonna go with an Ember Mage. Just to be different, let's make it a girl. See what they look like in this. Stay still, girl. Sure moves an awful lot. They look kind of okay. Pick some hair. You know, that phase and hair combination kind of reminds you of Nina from Tekken a little bit. Not in the back, but the front. So, you know, let's just call her Nina, just for the hell of it. Now my dog, or my pet. Makes it sick when going with a pet or dog right away there, doesn't it? I'm kind of partial to wolves because they're one of my favorite animals. But my engineer has a bulldog. I'm gonna go with something different this time, though. Ferrets. A lot of people seem to like the ferret. I don't know. It'd be a hawk, I guess. Pet name, Satchel. Well, let's see. It's a bird, so not a bird is my pet. There. And we're going to play on Elite. So the adventures of Nina, the Ember Mage, and Not a Bird, the bird.
Deep beneath Torchlight,
I'm gonna skip this just because you can just watch this on YouTube. It's everywhere. Needless to say, it doesn't match what you would have expected when these guys were Blizzard North. The animation, you can tell it's... I have no problem with the in-game graphics. Some people do, I don't. But even I'm kind of on the fence about the cinematics in this game. But a lot of people seem to complain about this not being gothic and realistic looking. Well, Torchlight isn't gothic. It's steampunk and it's fantasy, all rolled into one nice package. And Diablo wasn't that realistic to begin with. I mean, you had purple and neon and pink monsters running around, and some monsters just looked laughable, like those tree things in Act 3, Diablo 2. They look ridiculous. They look like cartoon creatures. But anyway.
I think this is as far as I can go.
So,
you should carry on to the Asterian Enclave.
This is the basic quest window.
Warn them that
I like an MMO in a way, instead of a standard action RPG. Which I don't mind. I personally prefer the old Diablo 2 way, just having the text box scroll and you have to read as they speak. You can't just skip ahead unless you don't want to know what you're doing. But here, I don't mind this. This is better than Diablo 3's approach, where it's just they're standing and have a conversation and you feel like a passenger in Diablo 3. But here, it's not bad. It's like an MMO. Here's the quest dialogue. Your rewards down here, what you can pick when you're done. So let's just go. Movement's really good in this. Like, really good. Beats the original Torchlight by far. It feels better than Diablo 3. Everything's really smooth and really fluid. And the targeting is just superb. So I didn't even play one of these guys yet, so I'm gonna just magma spear. Okay. Doesn't really use much mana. That's awesome. Oh, that fires fast. Okay, so I haven't played on this difficulty yet. I haven't played beyond normal, so not in this game anyway.
I don't have enough mana.
I like the damage. I'm getting hit pretty hard. Half my life gone just like that. Oh, I was busy talking. Not a bird came under attack. There we are. So I got my potions here on the hotbar, 1 and 2. You can just click and rearrange it however you want, which is great. You'll never want to identify scroll on your hotbar because you can just right-click the item in your inventory to identify it. So it's just like Diablo for that. I wish it had a little bit more range. Oh. Okay. Hope I get something to kind of slow these guys down, like I'm sure I will be able to freeze them and make them go slower. Anyway. Oh. You buggers, I don't think so. These guys were just damage sponges. Wow. Now, if I get right in here, I'm probably gonna take a lot of damage. So let's see what happens. No, not really. I think the rattlings hurt more than that. Anyway. So the music's fantastic in this. It's by the same guy who did the music in Diablo and Diablo 2. Matt... I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'll butcher it. It's like Ullman or something like that. But he did the music in the first Torchlight as well. He didn't touch Diablo 3 because he's not part of Blizzard anymore. And you can just really tell the difference between like the music in this and Diablo 3. Diablo 3, I'll commend them for trying to make something in Blizzard North's image, but without the music, I'm sorry, but no. The music really sets the mood in Diablo. And if you don't have the music, it's not Diablo. But this has the music. This is Diablo, in my opinion. Icy Blast, that probably that's what I'm looking for right here. 50% chance of freeze, 50% chance of immobilize. That's what I'm looking for. So, we're going to set that. And you can just press tab to swap your right-click skill down here, which is great. So we're on Magma for 1 second, then, whoops. And then we're on that. That's pretty cool. I like how it spreads. I haven't played this class yet. I've only played Engineer. So, I'm probably going to want Focus for this girl. Elemental damage, yeah. So I'm just going to go with, there we are. I like. Now in this game there's a ridiculous amount of things to click on, like rocks and barrels, and it's crazy. They're everywhere. That's a little pack of rattlings over here. Prompt to get annihilated. Definitely notice a huge difference now than level 2. I hate these guys.
My mana is slow.
Now with this blue life bar, it means he's unique, so basically a little mini boss mob. Shrine of Skill Mastery. The shrines are great, they're just like Diablo 2 in this. I don't know why, but in Diablo 3 I could click a shrine and it just didn't feel like the same old shrines to me, but this one here, the sound effect is more convincing, the animations, the effects, what they do, it's perfect.
You a new recruit?
You saved my life. Indeed I did, I guess. So, that's an improvement. Plus 2 ice damage. Plus 2%. But I'm wearing no pants, apparently. So, I'm kind of tempted to go with the pants. But it's only a few points, and at the start, I'll get something else. So, I can just right click. I don't know why I didn't do that. Knuckles, or Nux. I'm not going to wear those, because I'm a magic user. I'm sure you can set your character up to be that way if you want, but yeah. No thanks. Now everything is randomly generated in this as well, which is just great. I hate to keep talking about Diablo 3, but anybody who played that, you know it wasn't the same without the randomization at all. Because Diablo 3 didn't really have much. I think the cathedral was randomized, but beyond that, I don't think there was much at all that was randomized. So, a little bit back there, on that boss dude, I picked this up, a golden key. And on every randomized map, just about, you'll find a locked golden chest. If you find this golden key on a random mob running around throughout the map, you can unlock the chest. And it usually contains quite a bit of goodies, actually. Which is great, it's like a little minigame, find the key. So that was unidentified. Right click to identify, uses up a skill, or a scroll. No, I'm not wearing, yeah, I'm wearing armor. You know what, why not? Then there's this. I'm just gonna shove it in here because it's at the start of the game, I don't care. So there, that's socketing, by the way. A Spark Ember Spec, plus 7 electric damage. The socketing in this is fantastic. It beats the original Torchlight by far. It destroys Diablo 3, which isn't hard. That only had a few kind of gems to socket at all, that just upgraded. Diablo 3, which had a little bit more than Diablo 3. Did I say Diablo 3 had more than Diablo? Whatever. Diablo 2 had, it had more things to socket, and it had all the runes and the amulets. But I think Torchlight might have more, maybe? There's a lot of stuff that's used for socketing in this game anyway. So, the inventory, you might notice, you might be looking at going, where are your scrolls, where are your potions? This, I hate to admit, took me about half an hour to figure out, because I would just keep looking and I don't see anything, and I'd just close the inventory. I wouldn't really look for these things. I know I had them, but I just didn't search. It's down here at the bottom. Right now we're on equipment, then there's consumables, and then spells. Look at all that inventory space. That's a lot of stuff that you can carry. But unfortunately, it's this equipment tab that's going to fill up very fast. You'll be sending your pet to town probably once every 10 minutes. There's just so much loot in this game, it's crazy. And the loot is actually, it's really good. I mean, just repeatedly you're getting all these really interesting sounding things that do all these different effects, even just right at the start. Like, well, there's that weapon I decided not to take. It had, well, like 3 or 4 things on it. So, I won't see anything too interesting right away. It takes about a good 20, 30 minutes to see really interesting items. But in the grand scheme of things, half an hour. That's not bad at all to start seeing loot that actually seems really cool. I mean, I know it takes like half an hour to get a really cool looking helmet for your character. That would be like end game in Diablo. For appearance, not for what it gives you. Where'd you come from, little bugger? So, one really nice thing is, am I even hitting that thing? I don't know.
My mana is low.
One really nice thing, press M, here's your map, you can keep pressing M, move it around on the map, bring it back up here, but here's why I'm talking about the map. Boom, stick it here, you can move with the map up. Brings back memories from 2000, doesn't it? Certainly not Diablo 3, which did not let you do that. You can zoom in like crazy and still move around. And then you can go into the options, the settings. You can change the map overlay opacity right here. Boom. And then, well, yeah, that's a little bit too transparent, I think. But it's fantastic. You have so much control of the map in this. It's a real breath of fresh air. The only thing I don't like is you can't actually scroll it when it's on the map or the screen like this. So, because I like in Diablo 2, when you had the map up, you could press the arrow keys and scroll around on the map. This one here, it's static. You can just move it around different positions and then bring it back up here in the corner. Not up the par with Diablo 2, but still, the map is implemented better than in Diablo 3. So, here's the Asterian Enclave, which is basically the first town of the game. There's one for each act, just like in Diablo 2, for example. Fishing is back, of course. And it's more or less the same as in the original game. Come on. The funny thing is, no matter what you catch, it always comes up. When your character pulls the line up, it always has the same fish graphic. Even if you catch like equipment, you catch a boot, it looks like you caught a fish. It's like, what's going on? It's not a bad thing, really. It's just a little silly little nuisance. Or it's not a nuisance. It's just I don't mind it. Anyway, so I fished up a war snout, which will turn my pet into a war snout for 5 minutes. I don't remember what a war snout is. I haven't used one of these war snout. A war beast is what it turns into. I haven't used a war snout yet, so I don't know what a war beast is yet. But you can turn your pet into spiders, crabs, mole creatures. I forget what they were called. Some of them are for 5 minutes, some are 15 minutes, and some are even permanent, which is really cool. So, the quest at the start that I picked up was to come talk to this this chick. Oh, this guy. Sorry.
This alchemist has already come and gone, and it was all I could do to prevent him from entering the
This chick. Oh yeah, that was awful of me. See, look, there's a new staff. I refused that staff at the start. Here's a new one, so I'm gonna pick that. I've already done this quest. I don't care what he's saying. He's just gonna keep blabbing. I've done this, so I don't need to read it again. I can't salvage my gems yet, so I can't take that gem out there. But you can get so many different kinds of NPCs. What am I doing? I'm not selling. There. But, well, that's the game on the hardest difficulty at the start, anyway. Not hard yet. It will be, I'm sure. But I'm gonna show off what the, oh, that's right, the character leveled up. I'll show off what the, characters are like later in. Not the characters, sorry, but the NPCs. That was fantastic. You see that? Single player, internet, and LAN. Which just beats single player online or multiplayer online. So there's no Scrolls of Town portal. Now we have waypoint scrolls, which when we click it, opens our portal here. We click it, and we can go to any waypoint that we found in the act that we're currently in. So the Imperial Camp is the town in this act. So I'm going to head back there. And I just want to show off the NPCs I have and what they do. I don't know if there's any more that I have to get. If there are, they might be further in this act or in Act 4. But here's what you have in Act 3. There's an enchanter. You stick a random item in here. Like, look at this here, my Adept Bronze Corselet. It has no additional enchantments besides the one that comes with the 10 plus focus. I put it over here. I can enchant it for 2,280 gold. That will change depending on the quality of the item or how many enchantments it already has. The better the item, the more... Sorry, I just got distracted by something at the window. The higher the cost is, the better the item is. And the moment you stack an enchantment on there from the enchanter, it'll already cost more to put more enchantments on it. So I'm going to enchant it because a little over 2,000 gold isn't that much, I guess. I almost have 60,000, so let's do it. So there it's enchanted. We hover over it, and enchantment's 1 plus 5 dexterity. Pretty cool. And you can enchant it again for 7,125. Do I want to do that just to show off another enchantment? Probably not, because that's a little bit much. But we'll look over here at my my weapons. Here's my equipment. Sorry. Here's my weapon here, my superior mandible mace. You'll see down where it says enchantments 2. It's plus 22 physical damage. So I applied 2 enchantments, and they both put up the physical damage. Both enchantments on my boots here increase dexterity, but this one here, my leggings, one enchantment puts up my mana, plus 5 mana, and the other enchantment plus 5 pet and minion health. So you won't just have one enchantment that and that's it. It's not like you'll throw an item into the enchanter and it will give you, say, plus 10 life, and then enchant again it says plus 20 life. It won't do that. It might, but it might also give you, say, you'll get the plus 10 life the first time. Then you enchant it again. You'll still have the plus 10 life, but then you might have plus 5% vitality or plus 5 dexterity, whatever. It'll change. And you'll notice up at the top of my leggings here, the Eye of Purian Kuru, plus 72 health. That's my socketed item that I have in it. So the gear is really customizable in this game. This one here recovers health every few seconds. I haven't enchanted this yet. I'm going to do that now. Not too bad. Doesn't cost 2,000 to enchant this. So we'll do it. Enchantments 1. It recovers 0.4 mana per second. It doesn't sound like much, but it adds up. So that's not too bad. This chest piece is recovering my health and mana at the same time. That's pretty cool. So I'll enchant it again for 5,344. Not that much. Dips me down below 50,000 now, so I'm going to stop. And that one there plus 66 health. So I can't complain with that. It loads my health up, it recovers my health, and it recovers my mana. So that's the enchanter, anyway. The guy beside it, the transmuter. I don't really have anything to show off. I'll also go to my stash, which I'll do. There's 2 stashes, by the way. There's the shared stash, which is for every character you have stored on your computer. They will all share the stash. And then there's just the stash, which is just for your one character. So this guy has a few socket stuff. Change of plans, I'm not going to socket any of this, or I'm not going to transmute anything in there. So just come back up here. I'll see if I can just randomly throw items, like weapons and stuff in there. Probably not, but yeah, let's play around. Yeah, see, this isn't going to do anything. But normally, if you just put 3 socketable items in here, like 3 gems, 3 skulls, whatever, and then click the transmute button, you'll get something new. And there's definitely different combinations for other things, but I don't know them, because I've just used it for gems so far. Blacksmith, just sell my stuff to him. Back over 50,000. That's not bad. So we're going to come down here. Here's your skill respec guy.
Everything okay?
But he will only respect the last 3 skill points that you invested. So I like that. If you make a mistake, you can go back and fix it. But you still have to be committed to whatever build you're working on, which is good. I like it when these games really encourage you to make choices and be committed to those choices. Which that's what I didn't like about Diablo 3. There was no commitment. You could just swap out anything whenever you wanted. There were no builds, and you couldn't decide how to develop your character beyond your gear. You had no control over your stat points here, which in Torchlight you do. You get 5 every level, just like in Diablo and Diablo 2, and the first Torchlight. You get your skill points, you invest them, and you invest your skill points. You learn things as you go, and that is vital. That is important. These games need that aspect. And that is what kind of killed Diablo 3 for me, because you're just going along, you level up, and then it's like, oh, you learned such and such, a spell, ability, whatever, you learned this, go use it. And it's like, I didn't have to do anything to learn this thing, except beat on 100 skeletons. That's it. I didn't have to make any personal choices. I didn't have to rack my brain and say, do I want this skill or do I want that skill? Which one do I put my point in? Which skill do I want to specialize in? There's none of that in Diablo 3. It's all thrown at you, and you can use anything at any time whenever you want. There's no reason to ever make a second character of any class. You make a barbarian in Diablo, and that barbarian will serve every purpose you want. In Torchlight 2, you make an engineer. You can specialize him to be good with his big two-handed weapons, and make him really cool at summoning stuff like healing bots, gun bots. Or you can make him specialize in like guns, like having like big cannons and shotguns, and having all this cool shield stuff or whatever. You make these choices, you decide how these characters evolve and how they develop. But back to what I was talking about, these 2 NPCs here, they're very, very useful. This guy here, the Gem Smasher, if you have something that's socketed, like take my helmet here, it has a gem in it. I could drag this over here and click this button right here, and it would destroy the gem that's in it, and then I could just keep the helmet. So if I didn't like what I had socketed in there, I could destroy it. I wouldn't keep the gem, just the helmet, and then I could put something in there that I would prefer to have in there instead. And then there's this guy, where if I put the helmet in here again, and then click this button, it would take with this gem and give it back to me and destroy the helmet. So if I had a gem in a piece of equipment that I really liked, and had this great bonus, and I did not want to lose it, I could just take this guy, stick it in there, and boom. Just keep the gem. So, this is basically Torchlight 2 in a nutshell. I will definitely maybe record some videos of me actually playing on this character as I'm actually progressing through the rest of the story. But keep in mind, it's Act 3, and I'm getting close to the end of the game. so it might spoil the story for some people, even though there's not much of a story to spoil. I'll admit Diablo 3 has the edge in story. As corny and terrible as the story is in Diablo 3, at least it's a little fleshed out, where in Torchlight it's just... nah. So anyway, I will play this character some more in videos where I'm actually playing through the game, but keep in mind he's on normal difficulty, so it won't be that difficult. But that's Torchlight 3 in a nutshell. If you want me to show off anything of the game, any specific pieces or parts, I'll definitely record like the end game stuff, like New Game Plus and the map room and all that stuff. I'll show off online play, whatever. I'll definitely record some more videos if people like this one and found that it answers some questions or whatever. So that's that for now, and goodbye.